Hey everyone, welcome to our second episode of the budget build version of our Warshade guide here. So I wanted to kind of catch us up a little bit. We have hit level 25 on the main guide. We left off last at level 16. So I want to show you the power picks, the slot placements, all the good stuff that we're doing if you're not looking to do the super crazy, IO set build at this stage of the game. So let's jump on Valkyrie here. All right, and let me hide my face for a second so you can see everything that I'm doing. And I need to grab my planner because, believe it or not, I don't memorize every bit of this. And here we go. Okay, so level 17, we're going to keep going into Gravity Well. I want to get that slotted well for a, single target attack, basically. Level 18, we're going to get right into actually super speed. And the reason I'm going to pick this is there's nothing else I really want on my primary or secondary. Again, Essence Drain, if you've seen my other build, we're going to have a better version of that with Dwarf here soon. And the shields are fairly useless. Super speed, I can toggle this with my Shadow Cloak, which allows me to be invisible if I'm not mistaken. Honestly, probably won't use this much, but it's better than the other picks I have at the moment. And next up, let's see. So that leaves us into 19? Yes, 19. So same thing. I'm going to put more into Gravity Well. I'll show you the actual enhancements that I put in there in just a little bit. Of course, 20. We're going right into Black Dwarf. No shocks there. Triform. Obviously, we're going to pick the Triform powers. And then 21. Here is where, if you watch my other guide, I kind of explained this a bit as well. But until I get Eclipse, I want to throw an extra resistance in Black Dwarf just to get me a little bit more protection when I'm in that form. And the other thing I'm going to put here as well is a recharge eventually in Dwarf Mire. So my second slot's going to go right into there. Let's see, 22. Got to get Stygian Circle. This is going to refill a bit of endurance and a bit of health on defeated enemies. And as far as slotting after this, so we're at level 23, I'm going to get a little bit into Black Dwarf Drain. That's actually going to end up being a heal. And we're going to put a, where did Stygian Circle go? We're going to put a slot in Stygian Circle. That'll get a recharge here when I put my slots in. And let's see, 24, got to go Dark Extraction. Love having the little fluffy balls of destruction around me. And considering I don't have the same oomph with the recharge as I do in my other build, having more things that contribute more damage is definitely going to be welcome here. And then my final couple, enhancement slots. My last couple enhancement slots to get to 25 are going into Dark Extraction as well. So that catches us up, and then let's jump into the actual powers, or excuse me, the slots that I'll be putting in. Everything you see here already is going to get just an upgraded version so that we're up to level 25. So let me put these all through. And some of this I might just skim through or speed up so you're not watching me just tossing stuff around in these pieces here. But let's see, Black Dwarf is now going to need some because we have Black Dwarf powers. So we've got, let's see, Strike. Yep. Drain, Smite, Mire. You don't need a accuracy in Antagonize because Antagonize is auto hit. So I have an extra. I'm either missing it somewhere here or I bought an extra one, or crafted an extra one, I should say. So we will come back to that. I'm not quite sure where that was meant to go. We'll figure it out. So then we need some damages. So again, the ones that already had it are just getting the upgraded leveled ones, the level 25s. Pretty straightforward. And I'm going to keep them in the same order you saw them before, so that way if you're trying to play catch up, you know what order I put these slots in. Gravity Well, actually, just so you know, I would put a recharge in first and then my damages. And this is actually, my last slot's going to be another recharge. So I'm going to put that in there now while I'm looking at it. And then my last damage here, let me see where I was putting this one. Should be Dark Extraction. Oh, here we go. That's where my other accuracy goes. Now, I will tell you, when you first pick up the power, I would put a recharge in first. You're going to want this up enough in case A, they die, or B, you just want to try to get as close to 2 at a time. And then an accuracy, so they hit a bit better, and then the damage. So there we go. Next up, we've got all these recharges. So of course, over here, hasten we need up as often as possible. Get those in there. And we'll start replacing our level 15s, get a little bit more enhancement value out of all of this. Okay, and then what else am I missing here? Stygian Circle needs 2. And I need one in, I believe, Antagonize. Yes, not that you use it a ton, but it's good to have. And my Mire, where's my Mire? Here we go. Want to get that up as close to perma as we can. I don't think, unless I'm under the effects of haste, and this is perma just yet, but it'll get there. Black Dwarf gets 2 of the resistances, my shield and my absorption get the other ones. Dark Nova gets an end mod, as does stamina. And now we'll just kind of put some endurance reductions in some of these other powers. So Starless Step is one of them. Oh, here's Shadow Step. Let's see. Orbiting Death. Shadow Cloak. What else? What else? What else? Super Speed. Now, I don't use Super Speed as an actual travel power, which is why the few occasions I use it for invisibility might be when I use those. I'm going to put it there because I think that's where I want it. Oh well. And then my heals are just the drain, of course, and health. So that's all the slotting, all level 25s. And let's find ourselves a mission. Maybe we'll do a couple. We'll see. And we'll see just what this build can do with this level of enhancements at level 25. So let me get a mission. I'll be right back. Okay, so here we are in mission. I did make a slight mistake. I, out of habit, clicked my secondary mutation, and it happened to grant me recharge of plus 30%. And so unless you've picked up that power as one of your 3 options that you can get for free from the start vendor, you won't have this. Once this ticks down, I won't re-click it, but I'll be slightly faster on recharge than you normally would be. So apologies for that. I don't think it's going to make so dramatic a difference. All right, and let's see. Let's take a look at what we've got going on here. I am going to rely more heavily on inspirations. I am going to pop that because I would tell you to get this. All right, here we go. Now you are still going through some of the same rotations as you would as a more buffed up build, right? So the name of the game here I still think is going to be try to get through the enemies as quickly as possible. Rely on damage to be your friend. The difference is going to be you're not going to have Mires up as often. You're going to have a lot more endurance issues. And you'll see, like, even right now, I'm too tired to even use the Mire right away. Or not the Mire, the Stygian Circle. You're definitely going to be feeling that more than you will on the other build because you're not getting, like, the procs from anything that give you more endurance, things of that nature. Let me pull up the map here for this cave. Okay. And you can mitigate this by maybe taking a slot from something else, putting it into stamina. It might not be a bad idea. It depends on how well you're using inspirations, how much you're getting back from your Stygians. You know, like I'm going to be popping some right now just to have my endurance topped off. But you'll see once I take a few of these guys out, I'll be able to come over here and refill a little bit, right? So you can get through it, but you know, there's no lying. It's like I said in the last video, or the last budget build video, you are going to start noticing more and more differences in the efficiency of this build the higher you get in levels. You know, you don't have force feedback procs helping get certain things up quicker. There's just a lot of things you really cannot do in the same capacity as you can with all those set bonuses. Again, recharge being probably the most predominant one. Still super fun though. Like I don't want you to hear that and say, oh my gosh, I shouldn't play a Warshade if I don't have billions of influence to devote to it. That's not it at all. I've certainly played them back in the day without these crazy IO builds that I do now. IO set build, I should say. Hello, my friends. I did not change the difficulty, so this is still, I think, with plus 1 or 2 team members. Let's see, it is ×2 on the how many people are in team. So same spawn sizes as I would be getting if I was running my full build. Yeah, look at how much Stygian just brought up my endurance. I definitely want to take down that shaman first before he can do anything to me. I'll grab some. Oh gosh. Pop that and then grab some. So I'm definitely hitting that endurance problem pretty hard right now. Let's get ourselves another friend, an extracted essence. Oh, okay, so stunned. Remember, on your dwarf form, you can use that as a break free, essentially. Now, if I shift back into another form, oh, okay, I've got dry husk over there. If I shift back into another form before the stun wears off, then I will still be stunned, so keep that in mind. Okay. So yeah, too tired to use my actual power to get stuff back. So far, I think that is what I'm feeling the most of, having just played other missions. Let's grab another one. With my full build, is that endurance piece is really rearing its head. Let me turn on some stealth just in case. Let's grab another mission, hopefully one in a better spot than the middle of a cave, and see if we can't get another good example going here. And of course, council, caves. I should have expected nothing less. I'm going to try not having as many toggles on. So namely right now, orbiting death and my shield. Just for a moment, I want to see what kind of difference that makes. This is going to be a good group here. They're kind of scattered, which is unfortunate. So what I might do is actually come over here, instantly shift. I'm going to try to pull everyone around a corner of some fashion. I want to try to get in a better spot for Meyer, so this is going to be good enough. Oops, the wrong button there. Oh, and this is bad. This is bad. Get that health off. Alright, that didn't work out as well as I wanted it to. But that's okay. We can heal up a bit. Drop out. Do Stygian. I got stunned, so I'm grumping right back into Dwarf. Really did not need to use that taunt at all. That's a habit from the fact that I have a proc in it on my full build. Alright, you know what? Not terrible. I had a little bit of trouble for a second there. Almost face planted, so good thing I had that green. I'm going to convert some of this into a green. That respite. Oops. Hello. Let me go ahead and take care of you. Good thing I had the green ready to go, and then of course the dwarf heal as well. Felt a little bit of that squishiness. You know, I would still say it's absolutely still fun. Still getting that triform flavor. I'm having to think a little bit more, which, you know, as I've told you before while commentating, can be a little bit difficult. But, you know, the Mars are still coming up, you know, really well. I'm paying a little bit more attention to my health bar than normal, but not terribly so. That first pack was a bit of a bigger spawn. I'd also intentionally tried to pull them, which just gave them a few more moments to hit me, and still came out of it just fine. I don't think I'm going to be getting, you know, a bunch of double extracted essence fluffies floating around, but that's okay. But again, as it goes, the faster I can swap into Nova form and start, you know, laying the barrage, the faster I'm able to clear these spawns, and the safer I'm able to clear these spawns. Oh, looks like it's directing me this way. Taking off those toggles has definitely helped me in terms of my endurance. And see, here's another one where they're split, and so, oops. Well, my ball of destruction there has decided to start this a little bit earlier than I was ready to. I was going to actually try to group them. So this is where I might actually try to taunt. I don't want them to kill Fluffy there. And I probably should position myself a little bit better. Because it is a source of DPS, or of damage right now. One I very much would like to keep alive. Let's get another one going. We've got our clicky. Okay. Let's go ahead and take out these couple of guys. Oh, got a quantum there. And he stunned me, so I'm going to have to swap forms. Try to drop out and heal. There we go. Yeah, so those essences are definitely putting in some work. But you'll see, like, the damage is really not bad. Let's do one more mission. Get a little bit more feel for this. Maybe 2 missions. We'll just see how fast the next one goes. I am definitely enjoying it. You know, it would be a lie to say that I don't like my, you know, tricked out build a bit more, but I put a lot of pride into, you know, working on builds, figuring them out, and not just copying, you know, other people's builds. I do look at them for inspiration. Doom is a big Warshade person in our community. I've definitely looked at his builds and such, and you know, the thing about Warshades, particularly if you go on Triforms, and am I stuck on a mountain? I'm like teleporting into a black mountain here. Same thing with Peacebringers too, really, is they leave a lot of room for your own personal flavor and freedom. And I think that anyone in the Warshade community would tell you you're not really trying to build the exact same thing. You want to know what you like. And there's probably power picks I'm going to make that other people wouldn't make. And I do that for fun, right? And so I'll look at the builds. I'll have some fun with them. But I do, yes, I do absolutely enjoy my, you know, crazy builds. But I am, oh my God, that was a heck of a hit. I also very much enjoy stuff like this, right? So I guess point being is don't feel like you're not going to have fun playing a Warshade just because you don't have it tricked out. Heck, if anything, sometimes it's a little bit more exciting because you have to pay attention a bit more. Like back there where that guy just about one-shotted me. He got that crit off, and yeah, I felt it. I felt it. So these are some pretty decent spawn sizes too. I am going to take the brunt of the damage there because I want my guy to live. Let's see what else I can do here. Nice, nice. So, yeah, you can see you still definitely have an ability to clear a big pack. And then with that many bodies, look, it just totally topped off my endurance. Let's convert or use some things here. Position myself terribly there. Oh, get closer, get closer. Not bad. Stun this guy. I'm going to try turning Orbiting Death back on. I'd like to get those little ticks of damage as I shift through. It definitely was draining a bit of my endurance, so I'll keep an eye on what my endurance looks like as I do this pack here. Oh god. No! What got me? Oh, a whole nother pack. Okay, so that is a misplay on my part to a large degree. I would have approached that a bit differently if I was paying attention to the fact that there's a whole nother group there. So let's get back to the mission and back to that group, and we'll see if there's not a better way to tackle that kind of a spawn. Okay, so this is a case where I'm going to want to give myself every advantage I have. So I am going to kick up some powers here. I'm going to pop this extra resistance. I'm going to pop that defense. And what I want to do is get everybody focused on me, but in a more controlled location. And so I'm going to pop around the corner. I'm going to sit in Dwarf for when they come here. Can grab some heals. Oh, the other guys didn't even see me. So this actually isn't terrible because I can separate them out a little bit. I'd actually want to get everybody, and apparently it didn't want that, so that's fine. We'll take that as a gift. Let's grab ourselves a little guy here. Okay. Oops. Didn't want to do that. Get all endurance back, and then now I can come in. Oh gosh, there are some more guys there. Okay. We are running. We're going to get right back around the corner and pull them here. This time I think they saw me, which is absolutely okay. Let's try to taunt them. Again, I want my guy giving me DPS, so I don't really want them to kill him, hence the taunting. Now the question is, can I get them before they get me? We're doing okay here. We're doing okay. Pop that. Yeah, so that wasn't too bad. I think had I known they were there the first time I was in this pocket, I probably would have done okay. And look, with those bodies, totally full backup. So here's an example of getting right into trouble, and thankfully Dwarf also has a teleport, so I'm going to stow away down here. Gonna let my pets take some damage there. Oh, I am probably still going to eat pavement here. Let me get some of that damage off. Ah, I hit the wrong button. I meant to do Mire. Not that it would have done much there, but also misclicking is not going to help either. So when I first jumped into that pack, I was getting just launched all around. Didn't get into Dwarf form fast enough, and basically took on more than I could chew. Fairly certain on my other build I probably would have been fine. That was just a really tough spawn for my current powers. I think I probably should have been a little bit more cautious going there, maybe try to pull better, try to shoot the first couple things in the group and see if I couldn't pick them off that way. Definitely more aggressive than what makes sense for that spawn. Alright, so let's see, we've got quite a few left, and I think what I might actually do is start this one in Nova. First of all, let's get our extra inspirations. Just for the sake of it, I'm not going to pop this bigger defense one. I'll pop the small ones. And I'm going to try to mitigate by knocking some things down, see? And then dropping out of form. Again, I'm going to try to pull them in and take a couple out as they come this way. So you can see they're starting to pile in. That's fine. I want to try to get my other mire off. Try to get the heals going. This is still really tough. Might try to do some more clever kiting, get some things to recharge so I can get some more health back. I don't have much in the way of down enemies. That didn't help at all. I was hoping I had somebody up there. What I really need is more healing right now. Okay, and now back off and try to blast a couple down. Why am I not attacking? So yeah, definitely having to kite a lot here. Mostly I'm just trying to thin the ranks, which I think we have successfully done now. Let's grab ourselves a pet. Let's lock this lieutenant down. And now we're better. So yeah, definitely a little trickier. Is that other guy still up here? He is. Not a big deal. I think we can handle the one minion after taking out that whole spawn. Alright, so, as we close this mission out, what are my thoughts? So, kind of I spoke to him a little bit, but I do think that this build is still perfectly viable. Again, taking some power picks that, I wanted for flavor, or just in lieu of anything else I saw that I didn't really think was particularly helpful. Definitely not as strong as the set build, and again, that's not unexpected, and you're going to find that becomes more and more the case as we get further and further along. It's just that the more sets you have, the more pronounced that difference is going to start feeling. But honestly, what could you expect if sets were performing the same as just generic or common IOs? There'd be no point to invest in them, right? I will say the lack of recharge is super noticeable on things like my Mires. They're not up as much. My AoE powers in Nova form, definitely notice it there. A little bit in the Extract Essence. It's easier to have two running at the same time when I have all that extra recharge. So that's where the bulk of it is. Certainly a bit more squishy. And I think that's more to speak to how fast I can eliminate the enemies on my other build versus the fact that I have any real defenses or anything like that. But I do think I feel it. Obviously took a couple face plants in that mission. I'll leave them in the video so you see those. But you know what? If you're on a budget and you don't necessarily want to invest in the sets, totally get it. This build I think is still perfectly viable. Something I will show you though is I've not gotten rid of any of my recipes here that I've been getting as I've been leveling. Ignore the respec recipe, that's just something I set myself. And you'll notice I do have a couple things, like a couple Posi Blasts, obviously not a full set, a couple other things in here. And even if you don't use them, you can sell them on the auction house, or you can craft them and then sell the completed item, which usually sells for more, depending on what you get. Obviously your rares, you have to get the rare salvage, which is expensive, so maybe not so much those. So there are ways to grab some of the things that I have as you're leveling by using the things that are dropping. You also get merits. I think you'll see those in salvage. Yeah, so I've got 65 merits. I want to say it's maybe 150 to get something like a Luck of the Gambler. I don't remember offhand, but if you check the merit vendors in like Wentworth and stuff like that, you'll be able to see. Oh, what is this? I have no idea what that is. But you can also kind of hybrid this out and use some of your merits, use recipes that are dropping, sell recipes to get other recipes, things like that, to get a little bit more of that power amp. You don't necessarily have to stick to the commons or the single orange enhancements that drop and things like that. So there are ways to get closer and closer to the build I'm using. Obviously, you're probably not going to get enough drops to bridge that gap completely with the influence, but you're also not going to be completely without if you start using some of the means that you have. So yeah, I think that'll do it for this guide. Like I said, up to level 25. I'll have to take a look at the breakpoint for the next one, maybe somewhere in like the mid 30s. And I hope you're enjoying both the normal guide as well as this one. If you do, please give me a like and subscribe. It helps this video find more people. And I will see you on the next video.